Chapter 7. The Kybalion, the All in All Explained. Welcome back to this deep dive into the wisdom of the Kybalion. Today we are exploring Chapter 7, titled The All in All. This chapter takes us further into the Hermetic understanding of reality, identity, and the divine mind. If you have been following along with the previous chapters, you'll notice how each one builds upon the last, layering principles until you begin to see the structure of the universe through Hermetic eyes. But this chapter is different. It invites you not only to understand, but to identify yourself with the All. It is a call to remembrance, an unveiling of your truest essence. The Kybalion opens this chapter by clarifying that the All is not simply a God among gods, nor a being within the universe. The All is the universe, and at the same time transcends it. Imagine an ocean where every wave is an expression of the sea itself. The waves are unique, individual, and in constant motion, but each wave is inseparable from the water. That is you. That is me. That is everything in existence. The All expresses itself as us, while still being infinitely beyond us. The Hermetic teachers remind us that we are not disconnected fragments. We are not mere creations thrown into an indifferent universe. We are living expressions of the All, and every breath we take, every thought we hold, every movement we make is the All living through us. This changes everything, because if the All is not only around you, but in you, then you are never apart from it. You are it, clothed in a temporary form. One of the key messages in this chapter is that the All cannot be truly understood by the finite mind. The human intellect is powerful, but it can only grasp shapes, patterns, and reflections. It cannot wrap itself around infinity. Imagine trying to pour the ocean into a single cup. The cup can hold a portion, it can taste the water, it can even carry the essence of the sea, but it can never contain the entire depth of the ocean. Similarly, our minds can hold sparks of the All, but never the whole of it. Yet, the Kybalion says, we should not despair at this limitation, because while we cannot comprehend the All in its entirety, we can know it through direct experience. You can look at the stars, feel the pulse of life inside your body, sense the stillness that arises in meditation, and realize that this is the All in manifestation. One of the most beautiful points of this chapter is the paradox of the All being both immanent and transcendent. Immanent means the All is within everything. Every blade of grass, every heartbeat, every particle of light is infused with the All. There is no place you can go where it is not. Yet at the same time, the All transcends all form. It is beyond space and time, beyond dimensions, beyond the rise and fall of galaxies. The All is not limited to its manifestations, just as the ocean is not limited to the waves on its surface. This dual truth dissolves the illusion of separation. You are not a human being reaching up toward a distant God. You are the All expressing itself as a human being. And when this lifetime fades, you return fully into that ocean of infinite consciousness, not as something lost, but as something remembered. The Kybalion makes a powerful claim here. It says that the All is not only in the universe, but the universe is in the All. In other words, the universe is a mental projection of the All's infinite mind. Just as you can imagine an entire world in your mind, filled with landscapes and people, so too does the All project reality itself. This means everything we experience is part of a divine imagination, and we, as conscious sparks, are dreamers within the dream. But unlike a fleeting daydream, this divine imagination is sustained by the infinite intelligence of the All. Every law of physics, every rhythm of nature, every cycle of life is part of the structure of that imagination. And because we are sparks of that same mind, we too can imagine, create, and shape reality. This is where Hermeticism reveals one of its deepest truths. As above, so below. The all creates mentally, and so do we. Think of yourself as a mirror reflecting the all. When you look into that mirror, you may only see a partial reflection, but it is still the light of the all shining through. This is why self-realization is so important. To realize who you truly are is to realize that your essence is divine. Not divine in a distant or metaphorical sense, but divine in actuality. When you say I am, you are echoing the eternal I am of the all. This awareness changes the way you live. You begin to see your thoughts not as random sparks, but as currents flowing within the greater mind. You see your challenges not as punishments, but as lessons and opportunities for expansion. And you see other beings not as strangers, but as other expressions of the same infinite source. The Kybalion emphasizes that matter itself is not separate from the all. What we call solid and physical is in truth condensed energy. And what is energy if not vibration within the infinite mind of the all? Think of the universe as a great dream. To those inside the dream, everything feels solid, tangible, and undeniable. Yet from the perspective of the dreamer, all of it is mental, all of it is thought. This is why Hermetic philosophy insists that the universe is mental in nature. Not to say it is unreal, but to reveal that its reality is of a different order than we usually assume. What we see as matter is the all-thinking in structured vibration. What we call energy is the flow of that thought, and what we call spirit is a subtle essence that underlies both. Most philosophies try to divide spirit and matter as if they are opposites. Spirit is seen as holy and matter as dense or impure. But the Kybalion teaches otherwise. Matter and spirit are not enemies. They are poles on the same spectrum of existence. At one extreme is the densest form, and at the other is the subtlest vibration. Both are expressions of the same source. Both are the all in manifestation. When you begin to see life this way, your relationship with the world transforms. You stop rejecting the material as if it were unspiritual. You begin to understand that every atom of your body, every stone, every star, and every galaxy is spirit slowed into form. Nothing is outside the all. Another key truth in this chapter is the nature of consciousness. Consciousness is not an accidental byproduct of matter, as some modern sciences suggest. Consciousness is the very fabric of reality, because the all is mind. When you are aware, it is not simply neurons firing in a brain. It is the spark of the all experiencing itself through you. This is why Hermetic teachings say the soul is immortal. Consciousness cannot be destroyed because it is not separate from the all. It can change form, move through lifetimes, expand or contract in awareness, but it can never cease to be. Death, from this perspective, is only a shifting of attention within the great dream of the all. One of the gifts of chapter 7 is freedom. When you realize that you are not a fragile being trapped in a hostile universe, but rather the all expressing itself as you, fear begins to dissolve. You recognize that there is nothing outside of the all to threaten it. And since you are the all in expression, your essence is untouchable. Yes, your body may change, your mind may face challenges, your life may move through cycles of joy and difficulty, but beneath it all, you are the all. And that essence cannot be harmed, diminished, or destroyed. This is liberation, not as a promise of some distant heaven, but as an immediate truth you can embody here and now. If the all is in all, then why do we feel so separate? Why do we experience ourselves as isolated individuals? The Kybalion answers by pointing to the play of the divine mind. Just as you can imagine countless characters in your own thoughts, each with their own perspective and personality, so too does the all imagine us. Within the dream, the characters forget the dreamer. Within the play, the actors lose themselves in their roles. But every so often, there is a moment of remembrance, a glimpse where the veil lifts and you realise you are more than this form. These glimpses are not accidents. They are invitations to awaken. They are the all reminding itself of its true nature through you. The famous Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, shines brightly in this chapter. The all creates the universe mentally, and so too do we create our realities through thought and imagination. Your inner world is not just a private theatre, it is a seedbed for the realities you experience. When you align your thoughts with truth, with love, with harmony, you create in resonance with the all. When your thoughts are scattered or destructive, you still create, but in distortion. This is why mastering the mind is central to Hermetic practice. To master your mind is to align your spark of imagination with the infinite imagination of the all. And when this happens, life itself begins to flow in harmony with you. Another layer revealed in this chapter is that the all is not static. It is infinite life, ever moving, ever creating, ever evolving. There is no moment when the all is not. Even in stillness there is vibration. Even in silence there is sound waiting to emerge. This is why Hermetic philosophy teaches the principle of rhythm and the principle of vibration. The all is always in motion, and through that motion everything comes into being. This realization empowers you to trust the flow of life, to understand that change is not your enemy, but the rhythm of the all pulsing through existence. To resist change is to resist life itself. To flow with it is to remember you are part of an eternal dance. At this point, the Kybalion is not only offering lofty ideas, but practical keys. If the universe is mental, then by refining your own mental state, you refine your life. If matter and spirit are one, then by honouring your physical body, your environment, and the world around you, you are honouring the all. And if separation is an illusion, then by loving others as yourself, you are loving the all directly. Hermeticism is not about worshipping a distant deity. It is about recognising that the divine lives through you and through everything. Your spiritual practice, then, is simply learning to live as a conscious expression of that truth. If this perspective is resonating with you, pause for a moment and reflect on your own life. Where have you forgotten that you are the all in expression? Where have you felt separate, small, or powerless? And how would your life shift if you remembered that everything you see, everything you feel, everything you are is the all in manifestation? Share your reflections in the comments, because these insights deepen when we explore them together. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to keep walking through these Hermetic teachings with me. Chapter 7 of the Kybalion closes with a reminder that all of these truths are not just ideas to be admired, but realities to be embodied. Knowing that you are the all in expression means you are never powerless. You are not a victim of circumstance, but a co-creator of reality itself. Every choice, every thought, every act becomes sacred, because it is the all moving through you. The illusion of separation dissolves when you begin to live this way. You see others not as strangers or opponents, but as different reflections of the same infinite source. You see nature not as a backdrop, but as the all singing through trees, rivers, stars and sky. And you see yourself not as a fragile being, fighting for survival, but as eternal consciousness, experiencing life in a temporary form. The true power of this chapter is that it returns you to unity. The all is in all, and all is in the all. This is not poetry, it is the deepest truth of existence. When you realize this, fear dissolves, division fades, and you awaken to the freedom of your divine nature. The journey of Hermetic wisdom is not about becoming something more. It is about remembering what you already are, infinite, eternal, divine. So take this chapter not just as knowledge, but as a mirror. Let it remind you of who you are and how powerful your presence truly is. If this breakdown resonated with you, make sure to subscribe for more teachings from the Kybalion and beyond. And share your reflections in the comments. How does this chapter shift the way you see yourself and the universe? I'd love to hear your insights, because every reflection adds to the collective awakening. Remember, you are not separate from the all. You are the all, living, breathing, creating, and remembering itself as you. And when you walk with this awareness, every step becomes sacred, every breath becomes divine, and every moment becomes eternity.